Dear eTwinning School, welcome to the module on communication. We will start with the public speaking module. So without further ado, let's start. So why public speaking is so important? Basically, it's really important for the recognition of your school. But of course, as eTwinning School, you will start also to discuss much more with various audience, such as policymakers, such as other teachers, such as parents, students, and so on. So I will give you some tips and methods to start with. Objective of the public speaking. What is it? So the first, of course, objective is to inform. Information is really important. But more than that, it's create support. So we will explore how you can create support while it comes to public speaking. Then, of course, it's a meaningful subject. You should discuss about a subject that you like, but which has also like some meaning for the audience. But if you come to speak about eTwinning School, for sure, it's already a meaningful subject. Then, of course, it's to encourage exchange. So if you are just talking without encouraging your audience to take part of your speech, then you will lose the attention of your audience. Therefore, the most important part of the public speaking is to convince. So I know this is really difficult, but you cannot say everything. Even though eTwinning School is a great subject to talk about, you cannot say everything. So that's why you need to highlight your argument. So you will see that depending on the audience you have in front of you, you will pick the right argument to speak about. Then, of course, you need to guide your audience because convincing is about a bit manipulation. So basically, the way you will build your argumentation, you will somehow guide your audience to agree with you. So you don't shake people. No, you don't do that. You don't scream at their ears. No, you don't do that either. So the really main point to convince is the interactivity. If you make your audience active, then you will see that magic is happening. So interaction is really the key. So what do I want to say? Well, start with the essential. Is that clear for you? Ask in front of a mirror. Is that clear for me? Am I convinced? Because if you are convinced, then you may be very successful to convince others. So one of the most important parts of the public speaking is really think if you are the audience. So for instance, try to make your feet in the shoes of the people you have in front of you. So therefore, I really encourage you to make a role game. So if you are a parent, if you are in front of parent, try to be the parent. If you are in front of student, try to be the students. So, and of course, try to estimate the audience knowledge. So, for instance, if you are talking about eTwinning to teacher, they may know about it. But if you are talking to parents, they may not have heard about eTwinning. So, really try to estimate and start really from the very beginning. For instance, avoid jargon. Because jargon may not convince your audience. Of course, the tune should be rightly used. So if you are, again, in front of students, you may not use the same tone that if you are in front of policymaker, or otherwise it may be a little bit funny. And again, I know, I repeat, but curation is really important. You cannot say everything. So depending in front of whom you are, you may decide that this argument is better in front of this audience than the other one. And targeting, I really insist, is really, really important. The message is really important, is the spine of your speech. And so just to give you a little tip, basically the message is what you say when you are screaming to somebody who is trying to catch the train. That would be the message. So basically, if your son or daughter is taking the train and he has or she has forgotten something, that would be exactly what you're going to scream to he or her when she or he is taking the train. Remember that. So, the speech. So the speech obviously is really important as well, but once you have the message, when you have the target, then it will be quite useful. So when you prepare the speech, the most important thing you should remember is that, of course, you need to prepare, but you need to prepare with only keywords. If you start to really write a script, then you're going to be lost. Why? Because you're going to be stressed, or because you're going to lose, I don't know, one message, and you try to find it on your note, and then you're going to be lost. And if you are lost, you are panicked. And if you are panicked, it's a disaster, and you just want to cry. So I really advise you that when you prepare the speech, you just give like keywords by messages. So no full sentences, because you're going to be lost again. And again, there is no suspense. Okay, so when you have a speech, it's you here like to give like really to deliver the message, right? So the first sentence is key, so you should raise the curiosity. You give the essential and you explain the stakes. Okay, so no suspense. You give upfront your message. So the structure, again, as I said, the essential is at the beginning. There is no suspense, okay? You are not an investigator, or so don't make any like longer introduction and so on, because you're gonna lose the attention of your audience. So you give the why the subject is so important. Then you may give like the table of content, because our brain is built like this. We like to have like first point, second point, third point. So then of course you can develop, and the conclusion. Development, you give it only if your speech exceeds 20 minutes. So usually it's quite rare that you have 20 minutes, more than 20 minutes. So I suggest that you explain at the very beginning the essential, why it's so important. So if we are talking about eTwinning School, why eTwinning School is so important, you give your first point, the second point, and then the conclusion. So some tips, because I'm really nice today. So be concise and simple. Again, no jargon. Don't be too sophisticated. Of course, adjust according to your audience, so remember your targets. So if you are in front of students, if you are in front of parents, if you are in front of local authorities. Then you give example. Example is really, really important, because it illustrates what you are saying. You can give also scheme or graphs, also case studies. It's really important, depending on your target. Of course, if you are in front of local authorities, they may like case studies. If you are in front of teacher, they may like examples, for instance. Your slide. Oh my God. I saw so many different slides and creativity when it comes to slides. Don't do that. So first of all, not many slides. This is important. So not 100 slides, because then it means that your message is blurred. Because if you have a message clear, it should not be 100 slides. Of course, less is more, but it should be clear. And if it's clear, it might be coherent. And of course, if you are thinking of your message, if you are thinking of your target, then your message is coherent, I'm sure. Sober, so avoid crazy animation, because then you will distract the attention of your audience, and this is not what you want. Of course, anything you use within your slide should be related with your speech, okay? So for instance, as you can see here, on my slide is less is more, so it's related with what I'm saying. So I'm not putting here the Tour Eiffel, which has no link with the speech. And of course, like you can use visual, it helps also. So the less you have on your slide, the more they will listen at you, because they are not distracted. Of course, what I advise you is really to keep calm, obviously, and to practice. So practice in front of your dog, of your husband, of your wife, of your grandmother. But try it. I think the best witness is really your mirror, but don't hesitate to do it. So now, just because I'm really nice this morning, so it's just a recap. So when it comes to the preparation of your slide, try to follow this path. So first, take distance of the subject, take the ownership. So if it comes to give a speech or give a presentation about eTwinning School, try to think instead of your audience. So if you are in front of student or in front of teacher, try to be themselves. Try to be original. Original doesn't mean to be like crazy. Original means to be, for instance, less slide, clear slide with visuals. Give some storytelling. So give some example. I mean, put your own life on stage. Of course, keep the attention, and I will give you like some tips when it comes to the D-Day. Then pick simple language, concrete and visual. So again, avoid jargon, avoid sophisticated and long sentences. And I know what I'm talking about because I'm French. Then give credibility with comparison. This is what I said, like case studies, evidence, figures. Because the main point is to convince when it comes to public speech. So on D-Day, so this is today that you're going to present eTwinning School. So the first thing is that you look at your audience, because if you look the ceiling or if you look at the floor, it doesn't work. The audience will be elsewhere as well. Be anchored. Don't start to move all around. Don't make strange steps or jumps. Be anchored. Simple, your 2 feet like just parallel, and that's it. And you are looking very fine. Silence. Silence are really powerful. So silences, you can use them, for instance, to really emphasize an argument, or silence to catch again the attention of people. You see, I just stopped, and it doesn't look like strange. So use them. Don't read, please don't read. If you have notes, on your notes, it should be only keywords, just in case you are losing the thread. But if you start reading, believe me, you will definitely lose the thread. Eyes contact. I'm really insisting, but it's much nicer if somebody is talking to you instead of the ceiling, the floor, or is moving too quick. Speak loudly. Be aware that 30% of Europeans, they have problem with audacity. So speak clear and loud. It's much better to be too loud than too silently like this, because otherwise nobody will listen and they will all fall asleep. And then hesitation. Mistake is human. So if at some point, and I'm sure that you saw that I had few hesitation, it's fine. You are human. You can make hesitation. And even better, if you do like a mistake or a lapsus, you can even play with it. Okay? You can laugh. You are human. Again, the gesture, so it's a bit related with being anchored. I know that many people, they told me, what do I do with my hand? Well, cut them. But before going to the cut of your hand, I would say leave them alone. It would be perfectly natural if you are well prepared, if you know what is your message and you target well your audience, the gesture will go like smoothly and naturally. So, because I'm really nice, you just, so this is just a recap. So for the preparation, think of your message. The target, remember, make a role game. Curation, you cannot say everything because you will blur the message. Speech writing should be structured. Think about the tone you should use, the slide. So be like not too much animation, not too many. And practice, practice, practice. Then the day of the presentation, take time to get ready. Prepare a glass of water. Breathe in, breathe out. Use the silence. Hesitation, no problem. Just play with them. Be confident. I know that this is the most difficult, but the more you are confident, the better your speech will be. Your voice should be loud and clear. Then don't be scared about the hesitation. Again, play with them. And don't play monkey with the arm going everywhere. Leave your hands doing what they want. Okay, now, so this is the assignment I expect from you guys. I would like you to focus on these various targets. So I would like you to prepare a speech on eTwinning School and towards this target audience. So what does that mean? I would like you to prepare your speech if you are in front of teacher, if you are in front of students, if you are in front of parents, or if you are in front of local authorities. So I would like you to prepare the goal. So what is the goal of your speech? The goal is the dream. The objectives is how you're gonna reach this dream. The dream can be hidden. It can be a hidden goal, okay? And the objective is how you're gonna reach this goal. And then you prepare the message based on what you just heard. Thank you very much and good luck.